And I said, Mickey, I don't know, but it sure makes sense to me. It's fruits and vegetables in a capsule. And her daughter has a disease called spinal muscular atrophy. It's the #1 genetic killer of children under the age of 2. She was literally taking her daughter to the hospital every other week, not knowing if her daughter was going to live or die. The worst part about for Mickey's story that I don't really talk about is her husband had died like a couple of years before. He got RSV, and she thought her husband was just snoring, and it was the death rattle, and he was already dead, unfortunately. So she lost her health insurance because they were their own company. She was a what do you call them? A food. She like designed food, take pictures for a food. And so she would cost her a lot of money every time she had to take Aurora to the hospital. So then I called my friend Joelle. Joelle had just had lap band surgery. I'm like, Joelle, I don't know. Same thing. Sure makes sense to me. Joelle says, sounds good. You know, I can, and so she signed her and a couple other people up, and she decided she wanted to be a distributor, right? Then I called my friend Vanessa, who's already a multi-millionaires. There's a reason why she's a multi-millionaires, because multi-millionaire people like to save money, right? So I said, Vanessa, you know, here's the product. You know, it's be great for you and your kids. The girls are going to be able to go on the product for free. And then she says, can I make money with it? And I'm like, yeah, right? She goes, good, sign me up. See, because I was on as a chicken list for me to say something about doing this as a business, but she was looking for something for her. So there, all right, then I called my friend Jen. How many of you have seen the movie The Desert Runners? Oh my God, you haven't seen The Desert Runners? You have to watch it. So my friend Jen, she's a film producer. She did an amazing film that won South by the Southwest People's Choice. She also did The Desert Runners, which is all about Juice Plus and why athletes should use Juice Plus. So Jen, we were always looking for something to do. And I said, Jen, I don't know, but it'd be kind of fun for us. She's like, all right, that sounds good. Right? Then I called my friend. This, just so you know, happened while I was at conference again. I didn't wait till I got home. I just started calling those people that I really cared about. Then I called my friend Stephanie, who is she's a vice president of a major organization. I knew that she's always looking for multiple streams of income. She's like, all right, sounds good to me, right? Then my friend Joni, who was there at the conference with me. Then my friend Suzanne, who's a dentist. Then my mom. Then on and on, right? So my first day, I hadn't even signed a distributor application, but I already had 14 people who said yes. So I was like, I guess I better sign an application, right? And so it wasn't about a business. It wasn't about anything other than it just made sense. I mean, how many of you does Juice Plus just make sense? No? Not everybody's raising their hand? How many of you does Juice Plus just make sense? Right? It's like Jeff always says, is it the fruit, the veggie, you know, the berries, or the capsule that don't make sense to you, right? Or the Tower Garden, what part does not make sense? We didn't have the Tower Garden when I got started. We also didn't have the bonus program that you guys had. So I was able to go VF with this volume. Here's what happens. And the reason why, you know, and as I shared, I have a wound about people not sharing the opportunity, because you never know what someone's going through. You never, ever, ever know how you can change someone's life. You know, they say what, an extra $200 a month could keep most people out of bankruptcies. $200 a month could keep people out of bankruptcies. That's it, right? So if you help somebody go to VF, and they're going to get a $250, you know, bonus, you could be saving them. You could saving their lives, truly. So a lot of people go, well, gosh, well, some people aren't going to do anything. You don't know. The other thing that I love what Eric Worre talks about, he says that your people, they are a doorway, not a destination. So some of these people might not do anything. That's okay. They might be a doorway, or as Jeff says, a dud can lead you to a stud, right? You don't know who that person is that's going to lead to someone else who's going to decide that this is their mission, right? That this is really for them. So Amanda, she took the product. She stayed on the product taking them. Nikki, she stayed taking the product, didn't really do anything. Joelle, she had her lap band surgery. Her lap band slipped for 3 weeks. She couldn't go get it repaired because she didn't have the money to do it. So all she goes back after 3 weeks. The doctor goes, how long has your lap band been slipped? She said 3 weeks. He goes, you should be dead. He said, what? She goes, I haven't been able to keep anything down except this Juice Plus. He goes, whatever that is, I want to sign every person up to be on this. So what happens for her? Boom, 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 right away. Vanessa, she was on it. We did meetings in the morning, like after drop off for school, and moms would say, well, I can't do right after drop off after school. We go, don't worry about it. We're doing another one at lunchtime. They're like, oh, I can't do lunchtime. We're like, don't worry, we're doing another one at night, right? They could never get away from us, right? So Vanessa started like rocking the business. Jen, she took the product. Stephanie, she stayed on the product, but guess what? She told her sister Danielle about it. So Danielle recruited 2 great people. Joni went to freaking town, right? This person didn't do anything, this person didn't do anything. So if you look, Vanessa's rocking, Joni's rocking. At the time, our team went to NMD faster than anybody, but now it's like breaking records in 2 minutes, right? All these people. It's all good. And everybody said, Loren, you have very lofty goals. And I'm like, heck yeah, I got lofty goals, right? If you look, those are the people that, you want people that dream really big, right? They gotta go, you gotta slow down. I'm like, not gonna slow down, right? So Vanessa started rocking, Joni started rocking, a couple other people did a little bit there. And guess what happens? It's called life. Vanessa thought that she needed to be a health coach. So guess what happened? Everybody on her team decided they needed to be a health coach. So what happened to her business? Slows down. Does nothing. Right? Joni, she worked for IBM for all these years. 2008, she found that she was already SSC in the business. Guess what happened? Ponzi schemes. Lost all of her money. $3 million. What happens to Joni? Joni decides, I'm not doing this business. But guess what happens? One wakes up. Suzanne wakes up. Oh, my friend Linda. Linda, for the first 1.5 years, did absolutely nothing in the business, took the products, had great results with the products, was on her way. She lived in Vegas with me, and then she was moving to Australia. I went to Australia to do a book launch. I was in her car, and she goes, just don't talk to me about Juice Plus. I'm like, okay. And I go, but what if it did? What if it was something good? Guess what? Linda's business right now, she is the #1 business in all of Australia, right? She just promoted out 2 new national marketing directors, right? So Linda didn't even get started until almost 1.5 years, almost 2 years after signing her application, right? Then what happens? Suzanne wakes up. Then guess what happened? Jen wakes up. Now Jen's got a fast business. Then guess what happens? Danielle doesn't do much, but she's got 2 people now. She's going to have someone's going to pass her to go to NMD. She's got another person here. And then I'm always putting on new front line. So this is the important, this is why we say how important it is to go wide in your business. Tanya Oxley says it's the only time you can tell a woman it's okay to go wide, right? Is when you're building your business. But what will happen, right? So what happens now, what's happened because of this in 7 years. Okay, so Susie and my friend Jerry, I decided, where am I going to build my business? I'm going to think locally, but I'm going to build globally. I thought, where do I want to go visit? Great, I got friends in Australia. Great, I got friends in the UK. I didn't have the money at the time. I was going through, a divorce at the time and all those things. But I said, I know I can build these businesses. And I went over to the UK. People said, don't go to the UK, it's dead. Don't even go over there. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going anyway. Don't go to Australia, it's dead. I didn't listen. I said, move on out of the way. Right now on our team, we have 14 national marketing directors in the UK. We have 4 national marketing directors, in Australia. So what I'm saying is don't listen to people, basically. And also, your goal really is to help people become as independent as quickly as possible. That's what I will share with you. Because if I keep saying the word my team, I want you to join my team. Join my team. Someone goes, I want to create my own team, right? So my job is to help you to become as independent and to coach you to your independence. Does that feel different than saying join my team? Yes or no? So my job is to really to coach you so that you have the life that you deserve. And so, and not, I would say that I kind of hung on to the umbilical cord way too long with Cheryl, right? I didn't become as independent as quickly as I should have, right? Because I check in with Cheryl every day. My upline, I have a really great, Cheryl's, I always say, I have the golden ticket of it. Jeff Roberti and Cheryl Cortese is my upline. People go, well, of course you did well. Really? There's a lot of people that are sponsored by those guys who haven't done anything. People go, oh, well, you had the contacts. I still had to call the contacts, right? So all excuses are equal for all of us to do this business. I'm on the road 225 days a year, I do a lot of other different things. And so all it is integrating Juice Plus into your business. So I share with you, that I'm going to share with you actually something really kind of fun. Does this make sense? Does anybody have any questions so far? My son's in the business. He's 19 years old. He's going to be a qualifying national marketing director after a year. He's paid for, he never asked me for any money, right? And he could. The reason why I think this business is so important is that it allows us to say yes to things that maybe we weren't able to say yes to before. So when my kids say, can I do that? Guess what I can say? Yes. Right? Yes. How many of you have kids in lacrosse? You have kids in lacrosse? It is not a cheap sport, Congratulations, Quinn. You moved from the juniors to the high school, Yay for him, right? From when you're in the junior varsity, it's $1,600 for the fall semester. When you're on the high school team, guess how much it is? $3,200, right? So to be able to say yes to my kid and not to be able to say, sorry, Quinn, we can't do that. We can't afford that, right? Dr. Sears, who's America's pediatrician, he was at a Juice Plus event, and he asked everybody, what do you think the number one disease is that comes into his practice? Anybody want to guess? Come on, you're so quiet. I have to wake you up. What do you have? What? Come on. Obesity. Anybody else? Diabetes. Heart disease. You know what he said the number one disease is that comes into his practice? Parents that are financially stressed. So I could tell you all the great things that you need to do for your kid. All the great things. I could give you a list of all the great things that you need to do for you and your family. But if I don't have the money to pay for it, how do I feel as a parent? Horrible. So that's why it's really, really a responsibility to share this with people. And especially share the business with people. Right? We have amazing products. We do have amazing products. For me, I decided to do this because I wanted the benefits of the national marketing director position. As I shared, I was an independent contractor. I wanted that health insurance that that covered my eye, dental, chiropractic, disability, life, orthodontics. Feels pretty good. How many of you have kids that are in sports as well? Raise your hand if anybody's got kids in sports, right? To be able, my kids went to the emergency room. Each of the boys went to the emergency room twice this year because of thinking that they had concussions, right? So to be able to say, Joss, go to the emergency room right now and not have to freak out about how much it was going to cost me for him to go to the emergency room to make sure that if my kid needed to get a CAT scan or something that he could go. Do you know how many parents can't do that? Yes or no? So is that worth it? Absolutely. Any time that, I had to go to the emergency room, because I thought I was having some heart condition. It was really just my ex-husband that, sorry, it's true. So in the middle of the night at 2:30 in the morning, I was like, what's going on with me? I go to the emergency room, right? 2:30 in the morning, I have my husband take me to the emergency room. And they go, how old are you? I go, 49. They go, oh yeah, that's when heart attacks happen. I'm like, no, not this one. There was nothing there, but they ran all of these tests and I was there and I had to do they had to admit me into the hospital. So when you go from the emergency room to being admitted in the hospital, anybody know the difference? Let me tell you the difference. It's about $15,000 difference, whether you're in there for 10 minutes or a day. So to be able to not have to freak out because I knew that that was covered and I wasn't going to have to pay, and to be alive for my kids, that's a good thing. So that was a huge driver, you know, for me, was with regards to this. So the thing that I would share with you is, oh, nice. Okay, so here's what, so does anybody have any questions so far? And just so you know, my friend, Mickey, her daughter who has spinal muscular atrophy, she's only been to the hospital twice in 2 years. So was it worth it for me to say yes to Juice Plus? Yes. Just for that, right? My friend Amanda, she rarely has any outbreaks with her lupus. Now, of course, we don't make any claims, but do you think that made them stronger? My kids, I know like many of you here, my kids haven't had a sick day, you know, in 7 years. They hate me for that. You know, lots of times they're like, ask for wellness days, but how great that they feel, right? I'm on the road, like I said, 220 days. I might be down for a half a day, but I'll double up on my Juice Plus and I'm fine. My 16-year-old dog, you know, he takes Juice Plus every single day, right? And they told me that a couple years ago that he had this rare autoimmune disorder and I had to do this blood transfusion. I think I'll just double up on his Juice Plus, right? The lady came to our house. It was a dog trainer to work with my other 2 dogs. And she goes over and she's hanging out with Lego and she goes, "What's up with your dog? He's so sweet. He's wonderful." I go, "Yeah, a couple of years ago they said he had this rare autoimmune disorder and I need to do this blood transfusion, but I juiced for him." She goes, "You juiced for your dog?" I go, "Absolutely. I still juice for him every single day." She goes, "You juice for your dog every single day?" I'm like, "Yep." And I go, "I do exactly what I do for myself, I do for my dog." And she goes, "Well, people that I work with and, you know, that train their dogs, all I tell them to do is to give their dogs Juice Plus." And I'm like, "Well, that's actually what I do. I just didn't want to say, you know, they give my dog Juice Plus, you know, throw up all over them." So anyway, that was, you know, so it just made sense, you know, that you can take Juice Plus from the womb to the tomb, right? All of those things, that what a beautiful thing to know that anybody, that there's no contraindications. So that's really how we've grown, really keeping it super, super simple for people, and also creating that independence for them, that they can step into it's their business. I think the one thing that I was talking to Reagan about this, is that also really helping people create an identity for themselves. Do you guys understand what that means? So that means, if I were to say to you, how do you want, what's your name?
Erin.
Erin. So if I were to say to you, Erin, how do you want to be known in your lifetime? How do you want to be known? As a what? As a what? Do you want to be known as a mom on a mission? Do you want to be known as a boss babe? Do you want to be known as a fitness amazing? Do you want to be a health nut? How do you want to be known in this world?
All of that.
All of that. Okay? So that's great. So when I ask you that, so that's good. Versus me saying, Erin, you want to become a Juice Plus distributor? Is there a difference, yes or no?
For sure. Yes.
If I'm helping her create an identity for herself, I'm like, "You know what, Erin, I'm so excited to have you come and join us as a mom on a mission and be a health nut with us and do this and that." Is that going to be different for her, yes or no? Yes. And Juice Plus is a what? It's a vehicle that's going to help her live that mission. How many of you want to be known as a mom on a mission? Right? So, you know, or maybe that, you know, Travis and Lindsay, that you guys are known as this dynamic duo, right? So really helping people create that identity for themselves is super important. So what questions do you have for me so far? Anybody? Everybody stand up real quick. Go introduce yourself to 2 or 3.